sat together in the park as the evening sky grew dark. He looked at her and he felt the spark tingle to his bones. It was then he felt alone and wished that he'd gone straight. Watch out for a simple twist of fate. They walked along by the old canal, a little confused, I remember well, and stopped into a strange hotel where the neon was burning bright. Felt the heat of the night hit him like a freight train, moving with a simple twist of fate. A saxophone someplace far off played as she was walking by the arcade. A light burst through the beat-up shade as he was waking up. She dropped the coin into the cup of a blind man at the gate and forgot about that simple twist of fate. He woke up, the room was bare. He didn't see her anywhere. He told himself he didn't care, pushed the window open wide, felt an emptiness inside to which he just could not relate. Brought on by the simple twist of fate. He hears the ticking of the clocks and walks along with a parrot that talks. Hunts her down by the waterfront docks as the sailors all come in. Hope she'll pick him out again. How long must he wait? One more time for a simple twist of fate. People tell me it's a sin to know you feel too much within. I do believe she was my twin, and I lost the ring. She was Was it another lifetime, one of toil and blood, when blackness was virtue and the road was full of mud? I came from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll keep you sheltered from the storm. And if I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her. On that I give my word. In a world of steel, like death and men, only fighting to be warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. I was burned out from exhaustion, buried in the hail, poisoned in the bushes and blown out on the trail, hunted like a crocodile, ravaged in the corn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Suddenly I turned around and she was standing there with silver bracelets on her wrist and flowers in her hair. She walked up to me so gracefully and took my crown of thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you a shelter from the storm. Now there's a wall between us, something has been lost. I took too much for granted and we got our signals crossed. Just think that it all began on an uneventful morn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. The deputy walks on hard nails and the preacher rides the mount. Nothing really matters much, it's just doom and gloom that counts. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows his funeral horn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Heard newborn babies wail like a mourning dove, and old men with broken teeth stranded without love. You understand your question, man, is it hopeless and forlorn? Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. In a little hilltop village, they gambled for my clothes. I bargained for salvation and they gave me a lethal dose. I offered up my innocence and got repaid with scorn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. I'm living in a foreign country and I'm bound to cross the line. Beauty walks a razor's edge, someday I'll make it mine. If I could only turn back the clock to when God and her were born. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. was over and the boys were all planning for the fall. The cabaret was quiet except for the drilling in the wall. The curfew had been lifted and the gambling shut down. Anyone with any sense had already left town. He stood in the doorway looking like the jack of hearts. He strode across the mirrored room, set him up for everyone, he said. Then everyone commenced to do what they were doing before they turned their head. He walked over to a stranger and he asked him with a grin, "Could you kindly tell me, friend, what time the show begins?" And then he moved into the corner, face down, like the jack of hearts. Backstage, the girls were playing 5 cards, stood by the stairs. Lily had 2 queens, she was hoping for a third to match her pair. Outside, the streets were filling up, the windows open wide. A gentle breeze was blowing, you could feel it from inside. Lily called another bet and drew up the jack of hearts. Big Jim was no one's fool, he owned the town's only diamond mine. He made his usual entrance, so looking oh so dandy and so fine. With his bodyguards and silver cane and every hair in place, he took whatever he wanted to, but he laid it all to waste. His bodyguards and his silver cane were no match for the jack of hearts. Rosemary combed her hair and took a carriage into town. She slipped into the side door, looking like a queen without a crown. She fluttered her false eyelashes and she whispered in his ear, "Sorry, darling, that I'm late," but he didn't seem to hear. He was staring into space, over at the jack of hearts. I know I've seen that face somewhere, Big Jim was thinking to himself. Maybe down in Mexico, or a picture upon somebody's shelf. But in the house lights became, and the house lights went dim, and in the darkness of the room there was only Jim and him, staring at the butterfly who once held the jack of hearts. Lily was a princess, she was fair-skinned and had presence as a child. She did whatever she had to do, she had that certain flash in her smile. She had come away from a broken home and lots of strange affairs, with men in every walk of life which took her everywhere. But she never met anyone quite like the jack of hearts. The hanging judge came in unnoticed and was being wined and dined. The drilling in the wall kept up, but no one seemed to pay any mind. It was known all around that Lily wore Big Jim's ring, and nothing would ever come between Lily and the king. Nothing ever would, except maybe the jack of hearts. Rosemary started drinking hard and seeing her reflection in the night. She was tired of all the attention, tired of playing the role of Big Jim's wife. She had done a lot of bad things and even once tried suicide. Was looking to do just one good deed before she died. She was gazing into the future, riding on the Jack of Hearts. Lily took her dress off, washed her face, and she Lily washed her face, took her dress off, and she buried it away. As her luck ran out, she laughed at him. Well, I guess she must have known it would someday. Be careful not to touch the wall, there's a brand new coat of paint. I'm glad to see you're still alive, you're looking like a saint. Down the hallway footsteps were coming for the Jack of Hearts. The backstage manager was pacing all around by his chair. There's something funny going on, he said, I can just feel it in the air. He went to get the hanging judge, but the hanging judge was drunk. As leading actor hurried by in the costume of a monk. There was no actor anywhere better than the Jack of Hearts. Lily had her arms locked around the man she dearly loved to touch. She kept thinking about the man she couldn't stand, who hounded her so much. I'm glad you're laying here with me, and he thought she was sincere. But just beyond the doorways lay jealousy and fear. Just another day in the life of the Jack of Hearts. Nobody knew the circumstance, but they say that it happened pretty quick. The door to the dressing room burst open and a cold revolver clicked. Big Jim was standing there, you wouldn't say looked surprised. Rosemary right beside him, she had study in her eyes. She was with Big Jim, but she was leaning towards the Jack of Hearts. 2 doors down, the boys finally made it through the wall. They cleaned out the bank safe and it said they got off with quite a haul. In the darkness of the riverbed, they waited on the ground for one more member who had business back in town. You know they couldn't go no further without the Jack of Hearts. The next day was hanging day, the sky was overcast and black. Big Jim lay covered up, killed by a penknife in the back. Rosemary on the gallows, she didn't even blink. The hanging judge was sober, he hadn't had a drink. The only person on the scene missing was the Jack of Hearts. The cabaret was quiet now, a sign said closed for repair. Lily had already taken all of the dye out of her hair. She was thinking about her father, who she very rarely saw. She was thinking about Rosemary, and she was thinking about the law. She was thinking about, but most of all, she was thinking about the Jack of Hearts. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could, bound out west. Split up on the docks that night, both agreeing it was the best. She turned around to look at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue, tangled up in blue. I got a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell. I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted down to New Orleans, where I was lucky enough to be employed, working for a Wallonie fishing boat right outside of Delacroix. But all the while I was alone, my past was close behind. I met a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind, but just grew tangled up in blue. She was working in a topless place when I stopped in for a beer. I kept staring at the side of her face and the spotlight so clear. Later on when the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. She's standing there in back of my chair saying, honey, don't I know your name? Something underneath my breath, and she studied the lines on my face. I must admit I looked a little uneasy when she pinned down the tie, the laces of my shoes, tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. I never thought you'd say hello, she said. You look like a silent type. But she opened up a book of poems and offered it over to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. Words arranged to make love like burning coals. Pouring off of every page that was written in my soul from me to you. Tangled up in blue. They live within my Honeyview Street, the basement down the stairs. There's music in the cafes at night, there's revolution in the air. He started in to deal with slaves and something inside of her died. He had to sell everything he owned and got all froze up inside.